Hello everybody and welcome to Greg's Vintage Workshop, where I'm working to restore history one piece at a time. Tonight we're going to be looking at the final episode of the 1929 Victor R32 TRF tube radio, the one I've been working on for quite a few months now. And in this episode, obviously I finish it up. I got my new parts in from Mark Opat, a new 26 tube and a new 2-section volume pot. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's finish this puppy up. Okay, so I'm back in the shop trying to finish up this Victor R32. I got my parts from Mark Opat, and great news, actually, he had the 26 tube, which I knew he would, but he also had some nice cord, cloth covered cord, reproduction cloth covered cord with the power end already on it. Nice. All I have to do is put the other end on it. We had that. But the cool thing is he actually had a new old stock volume control for the R32 that he sent me. And there it is, new old stock volume control. So we'll put this on. I'm not going to show you that, but I will bring you back when I get it on there.
1-1. Hayward takes inside. It's 2-1.
Okay, so I got the new volume control in there, and I got the new tube in there, and the volume definitely works better now.
For Baez, but he does get credit for a single. And the 2-1. Swing and a miss by Hayward. A sharp breaking ball. One of the best ones that Wilson has snapped off.
Yeah, it's that little kind of slider, cut fastball. Kind of grips at 4 seams, but he gets on the outside of the baseball and then fires it. That one's a nice tight.
Alright, so the next step is going to be to do some RF tuning. Let me get my signal generator down here and see if we can get it hooked up and get this set up. Okay, so here's where we're at right now. I've got my scope hooked up. You can see, I zoom in, I got it set on 1500, and you see the trace there, the 1500. And then if we come back a ways, I've got my Heatkit 102 on there, and it's set on the 1500. Okay, and then I've got on the radio, I've got the radio set on 1500. And then over here I have my Simpson 260. Alright, and that's going to record the decibel voltage to the speaker. And I can't show you all this at the same time, but I did want to show you. I've been playing with this, and I told you I was going to show you this, but I didn't show you it. So let me show you now. This adjustment here, if you remember those tuning capacitors that are on the bottom, this is RF1, this is RF2, this is RF3, and this is RF4. As you turn the lever, right, this rotates. You can see that rotating, right? Each of these little screws pushes on a copper band. You might be able to see the copper band inside the groove, and controls how far each of the RF tuning capacitors moves. They're all capable of moving, right? See that? So what we try to do is, with it set to the frequency that it's supposed to be, the RF frequency, we try and adjust these to push on that capacitor or release the capacitor to get our best signal at that frequency. And that's what I've got going on over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this camera up. One of my cameras is I'm going to show you here. Well, I can't really show you there and here both. I want to show you the meter. I'm just showing you now what I'm going to be adjusting. And the way I'm adjusting is I took this little socket dealer here and I ground it a little bit so it actually slides on those. And I can turn some of them with my fingers. Other ones I have to use a little wrench on there. You're just going to have to take my word for it when I tell you what I'm doing. Now I've already gone through and adjusted these, so I'm kind of showing you the results. It was a long, tedious process because these were all kind of froze up. And I just didn't record it while I was doing it. So now they're pretty close. I'm just going to be showing you a reference on this for our frequency and where we have the dial at and the meter. So I'm going to get a couple cameras set up to try and do this. Let me see what I can figure out. So as I said before, I'm sitting on 1500 on the radio. I'm sitting on 1500 on the signal generator. And I'm sitting at 1500 on my Hantek scope, which I don't have showing. I don't have enough things to record it by. But anyway, so let's go ahead and turn it up. And there's our signal from the signal generator. And you can see the voltage over here. Now if I turn it up louder, obviously we get more voltage. But I don't want to do that because it's driving me nuts. So what I would do for the 1500 is I would adjust RF4. And you can see as I turn this either way, I can get that to increase or decrease. Next to it, and more of that, and that's where we're going to leave it for 1500. So now let's move it down to 1250 because these are the settings at which they have in the thing for you to set them at. So let's move on the radio to 1250. See if we can find 1250. There's 1200. There's 1250 right about there. Okay. Then we'll take this 1250. Approximately 1250. Should be right in that vicinity. Looking at my scope. That is not quite there. 1235. And that's about 1250-ish. Yeah, that's exactly 1250 right there. Now if I go to RF3, which is what I'm getting ready to do here, and mess with this one, you see it going down there. That's about the best that one is. And the one next to it. Okay. Now we'll take it to 1,000. I said to do 1,000, so let's take this down to 1,000. 1,000 is right about there. And let's see, 1,000 on here. Should be about there. Look at my scope there. Dials off a little bit, but that's about 1,000 right there, according to the scope. So now I'll do RF2. Voltage and volume down a little bit. Make sure I got that one to move quite a bit. I think we're going to leave it right there. Alright. So now we're going to change scales because we got to do 800. So we're going to go to the B scale. Yeah, B scale. So we're going to move it down to 800. It should be about right here. I think it's 800. And we move that to the B scale. So let's move this up to where approximately 800 should be. Yep, right there. Yep. That's pretty good right there. I'll take it down to the 600. Let's see what we get here. It's about 610 on my meter there. On my scope, it's right at 595, so I'm gonna say that's good enough. that's how you adjust this. That's how you get your antenna tuning condensers in sync. So you shut this one off, and I think I'll go ahead and get this thing stuck into the cabinet, and we'll be back. Well, there is the 1929 Victor R32 TRF radio, all completely done, and in its spot in my living room. And we're going to turn it on here in a minute. I had zoomed in a little bit. We'll zoom out a little bit. You can see I've got the Emerson little micro radio on top of it. I've got an antique sewing machine on top of it as well. But that's what it looks like in its entirety there. Zoom in a little bit again. And we will just turn it on and have a listen. Should be on my local station right now.
Different flavors, you know, depending on your mood and what you're looking for.
And then, see, if this is tuning into how mature they are, they didn't, you know, they don't demand that the vehicle, they have a color theme for all their vehicles. So everything is blue and yellow.
Yeah.
And the story behind that, do you mind if I tell this, Elizabeth?
Sure.
So the story behind this is very, very adult. They, when they were first together, I believe.
And we'll move it over. We get this other spot, albeit not great. And then the hum, which appears to be in that station. We don't have it in the other station. And that's about all she picks up, but that's about all I pick up around here on any of my radios. So
they ask for the company's opinion on the best yellows and blues that go together. So the yellow and blue of their Cullinan was the yellow and blue chosen by...
and that's it. So I'm real happy with how this turned out. A long time. I worked on this thing for quite a few months. I think this was what, part 12? Well, that's the end of it. So I'm not sure what we're going to work on next. I've got a big old Philco signal generator, but I'm also thinking about doing my version of Moslack Doug, his MFP. I had one of my viewers, Telefunken, who has his own channel, had contacted me about doing a Glasslinger circuit breaker, and asked me if I was interested because he had developed a circuit board, and I said sure. So he was kind enough that he sent me a bunch of the parts. Some of the parts I still have to purchase, but maybe I'll move into that, and that'll be part of the MFP. So we'll see. I thank you for watching this 1929 Victor radio series. It's been a long time coming, but it's functional, and at almost 100 years old, I'm very happy with the extensive type of repairs that were done, that it is working again and has a new lease on life. So from Greg at Greg's Vintage Workshop, thanks for watching.